Hello, good day. Funke Oyende here. So I want to welcome you to this special video training on making bean bags. Bean bags or floor pillows. So they are like giant pillows that are meant for the floor instead of for the sofa, like throw pillows. So you can make your bean bag in any size, in any shape, in any design. So today I'll be showing you how to make a bean bag. Right, so I have a sample here. This is a bean bag and it's a square size, it's a square shape of bean bag. So you can see it has a top, a middle portion and a bottom. So and then I made a cord around the top and bottom to decorate the edges. So now we are going to make another bean bag, but this time around we're going to make a round shape bean bag. Okay, so for my bean bag I have to cut a round top and a round bottom because I want a round shape bean bag. Your bean bag can be as big as you want. You can even make it as big big enough for you to lie down on for relaxation. And kids especially enjoy jumping on them. So I'm going to be using this one top, one bottom for my bean bag. So you can use any round object big enough to cut your round pieces for the top and bottom. So that is the main fabric, and I'll be using this for the middle part, this middle part of the bean bag. So this is the middle that will bring the top and bottom together. So and then there is an inner pillow inside. Even this has an inner one, just like we do for throw pillows, that we have the pillow foam that will be inside and then the cover. So this one you are seeing outside is the cover. There is a pillow inside, and the one inside has to be the same shape, the same size as the cover. All right, so now the first thing I'm going to do is to make the inner pillow for my round bean bag. So this is the fabric for the inner pillow. So one top and one bottom, and this is for the middle part of it. So I will have to stitch all this together, and mind you, I'm going to be using fiber for my stuffing to fill my bean bag. If you are using crumbs, crumbs are rough, they look rough, so that the body of your bean bag will be looking smooth. You will have to use either foam sheet, like half-inch thick foam, to lay the inside, like this inside part. Now as you cut the top and the bottom and the middle piece, you have to cut exact size, also exact shape from your foam or fiber sheet. You can also use fiber sheet to lay the inside, so you will lay the top, you will lay the bottom, you will lay the middle piece with fiber sheet or foam sheet if you are using crumbs, so that your bean bag will be looking smooth. But I'm not going to be laying this one here is crumbs inside, so I had to lay all this with fiber. I used fiber sheets to do the underlay. So but for my this time around I'm going to stuff with fiber, so I'm going to omit that laying inside with sheet. So I'll just go right away. This my pillow is measured. The circumference of the bean bag I want to make this size, the circumference is about 76 inches. So the middle piece that will go around has to be about that 76 also. So I will just have to add sewing allowance, because I have to join the two ends. I have to bring the two ends together, join it to form a circle before I will sew it to the bottom and the top pieces. So right away I'm going to do the join this so that I have the circle, then I will attach it to the top and bottom pieces. Let's do that. So I have the circle formed. So I'll now be sewing it to the top and the bottom pieces, right side spacing. But I'll leave a little space for turning right side out, so you don't have to close the entire thing. So you leave a little space, maybe up, for turning right side out. Alright, so I've sewn the bottom and top pieces in place, and I left this hole for turning it right side out. So I'm going to turn, and then I will be filling it with fiber. And your fiber or crumbs or whatever you're going to use to fill your bean bag is the most important expense you're going to incur. So the bigger your bean bag, the more expenses you're going to incur. And you can make it in plain color if you like one color, and you can also mix colors and use different kinds of fabrics. So I will be stuffing now. So I begin to stuff my bean bag. So I'm going to do that and fill it up. So next, after filling it up, the next thing is to stitch this opening closed. So we are not going to do this, we cannot do this on sewing machine. So you have to grab your needle and thread and stitch this opening closed. So you have to top stitch with your thread and needle. So let's get that done now. So I'm gonna stitch it up. Alright, so I'm done stitching, top stitching that closed. So next we're going to work on the cover now. By the way, my bean bag is just 8 inches in height, so it's not a very tall one. So now it's time to work on this. So this is the top and bottom pieces, and I'm going to be sewing the body to it. But before I do that, I'm going to cut the top and bottom pieces like the sample I showed you. This cording here, you have to first of all sew your cording around the top and bottom pieces before you join the middle part, okay? And for you to make your cording, this kind of cording, it's not bought in the market. Here is my cording. So I already prepared that ahead, and what I did was just to get strips of foam sheet. So I cut them in strips, and I cut the fabric I want to use for the cording. My fabric is just about 3 inches wide, and it's going to be as long as we go around the top and bottom pieces. So you grab your foam piece, you roll it up, and then you sandwich it in the middle of the fabric piece, and then you now stitch the fabric with the foam inside. You stitch your fabric down, so it will puff. The foam will make it puff. So that's how you prepare your cording. So now I'm going to sew my cording around the top and bottom pieces. Let's do that. So you should leave a little space. Don't start at the beginning, because by the time I go around, but I will need to join the end to the beginning so that it will be continuous. So you need to leave a little space for your joining. So you just leave about 2 inches before you start your stitching. So by the time you are about to close this gap, so you just bring these two pieces together, right sides facing. So you have to cut one a little. You have to leave that sewing allowance. You have to leave some allowance for the joining. So you join these two pieces together, right sides facing inside. So I have stitched the two pieces together now. So you now close them up, close it up, so it's now continuous, and you sew it to the top of your top and bottom pieces. So you now sew it down. Alright, so our top and bottom pieces are now ready. So what I'll be doing next is to sew my zipper to the top part of the bag so that we can open it, bring out the pillow foam inside and insert it, maybe for washing. So that's what so I'll just grab my zipper and I'll be sewing it, to cover a good portion of the top so that it will be easy for us to remove and reinsert the inner pillow. So let me do that now. So I have my zip sewn to the front, the top part. So by the time I'll be joining the body, the middle part, I'll be sewing it on this second side so that we can open the zipper to open up the pillow, the beanbag. So don't make the mistake of sewing the the middle part on the same part where you sewed your zip. It will be covered. You will not be able to open the pillow foam. So we are going to sew the other side on the second edge that is free. All right, so note that. So next I'll be working on the middle piece. So in order to join this middle part to the front and bottom, to couple the entire cover, I'm supposed to just join the two ends so that it becomes a circle. But before I do that, I want to use this fringe. I want to decorate the top part of my beanbag with this fringe. So I will just sew this to the top part, the part that will be that will be attached to the top of the bag. So I will just sorry, the beanbag, I said bag. So I'll be sewing this, so it's just a design, just a way of further decorating my beanbag. So I will sew this to only the top part. So there we are. That's it. So I will now join the two ends to form a circle before joining the bottom and the top pieces to it. So let me do so that's the joining there. So first I'll be sewing the bottom part in place and I will now finish with the top. So right side facing, I'm going to sew the bottom to the middle part. So that is it. The bottom piece is already in place, so I'll now be sewing the top piece in place. Right side facing, don't forget. Okay, so after sewing the top and bottom pieces in place, now you just overlock or you whip the edges with your machine so that everything is neat, and then we are going to turn right side out. Alright, so it's time to insert the pillow foam we made earlier inside to finish off. So let me do that. So here we have our finished pillow, our finished beanbag, looking so pretty. So, and that's it. I look forward to seeing yours. Thank you. Funke Oyende signing off, and bye for now.